Freo.
Mm.
Do we want to go into it? Because as we went into recording the podcast, I think we were all probably doing the same thing, watching the end of the Fremantle St Kilda game.
Let's do a
GWS. What the hell happened?
Let's do a GWS. Let's slowly build into it. I want to put in my dot points first.
Okay.
So I wrote down that orange logo on Freo's jumper is not a look.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's great.
Yeah, that was weird.
30% efficiency inside 50. Sorry, that's the stat there.
Their forwards struggled. That's what I've got written. Their forwards absolutely struggled today.
Yeah, but I also wrote down St Kilda's defensive zones are clear from the get-go. That's a clear Ross Lyon tactic. I also wrote down this question, John, that you may love. Brad Hill, did he use his speed today?
You know, all I could think of. So, again, context. St Kilda Fremantle last year. St Kilda fans, you really need to have a think sometimes of what you shout out. We had a guy next to us the entire game.
Saints fans, you're simpletons.
They're the worst. They're the worst.
And I live near Moorabbin, so I might get killed. So literally last year, every single time, like he could have been doing nothing. He was backed into corners, and then literally use your speed, Hill. Like, oh my god.
Oh, but Maso, the floor is yours.
Rev up that chemo because that match gave me fucking cancer. Jesus Christ. My God, that was a classic Ross Lyon game. Low scoring, grindy, horrible piece of shit to watch. Jesus Christ. Oh my, it is the parking the bus of AFL. It is just hard watch. Like, good on them. Good on them. They understood that they didn't have any tall timber up forward. And so they had everybody back. And there was times where our boys had no fucking clue what to do because you got Tabner standing there in the goal square, just trimming his fingernails, fucking not doing anything a key forward should do. Or when we see that we're going into the forward, he will run up to a friendly forward and bring his opponent with him so that they can jump over him and spoil it. No, awesome, Tabner. Awesome. We move the ball slower than my nan, all right? And she's lost all of her mobility. She needs a walker to move.
You're playing like Betty White out there.
It was fucking horrible. The number one thing that comes to mind is the Saints gave away an absolute shit ton of frees. Like, disciplinary, stupid frees that the fans didn't like. Half of them were like clotheslines or, a smack across the head or arguing with the umpire. And yet every single time we'd get boo over the fucking top of us. It's like, do you cunts know the rules? I'm going off. Do they know the rules? Do they know the rules? Or do you just yell boo at everything?
No, I'll answer that question. They boo at anything. Most fans do it. Most fans do it, but Saints fans, simpletons, they will boo at anything.
I just insult people, apparently.
My only positives are Darcy destroying Marshall, which then goes into a negative. Sinclair had fucking free run and just tore us apart. They didn't even need a bother in the ruck contest because he was always there to grab it and then get and go.
Could have really used that Blake Acres, hey?
No. Hughes did enough. Like, Hughes did well than enough. He actually surprised me this game. He was one of the positives. It was him, Shooter, and Freddie. They can hold their head high. Well, obviously, Bayshaw. Bayshaw and Sarong did enough for me to be happy. And the boys at the back, obviously, Coxie and Pearce and Young. But the forwards, geez, it's what, like 6, 8, 10 years now? And we still don't have our shit together? It's not a Rory Lobb problem. It's a freaking system problem. There's just clumping. I want to smack my head against the wall because each time I go into a game, I know that all of our forwards are going to be standing in a little clump. Nobody wants to lead. Ever. Tracy, I like his aggressiveness, but it was way too much, and he gave so many stupid frees away. Yeah, I don't really have many positives from that game.
I did find one positive Freo in that game. It's
Yeah.
only a stat, though. Brendan Cox had 20 marks.
Yeah.
Equal highest for any Freo player with Luke McFarlane. So that's about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have literally no positives in the. I mean, there was. I don't know. It was just an odd watch. I think your forwards had no fight. Your midfield looked pretty good at times, but that as they should with the players that are in there. Defense, I'm surprised you leaked goals the way you did, considering you still the caliber you still have in there is still some absolute quality. So
we'll come back to that in a sec. I've got some pointers on that.
No, take over, because that was my point. It's just I still think there's quality through that defense. I think it's just I don't know. It seems like it might be a little bit out of whack at the moment or something.
Well, all right, knowing Ross Lyon and knowing how he plays and how his game plan is defense orientated, the fact that we didn't use our pace at all and transitioned so slowly was just, head scratching. We have some of the speediest halfbacks and with long bomb kicking, and then we got some of the speediest small forwards, and we didn't utilize it, and we allowed them to flood back into defense, and then nobody wants to lead, or there is no room to lead, and then we then bomb it long, hoping for the best, like we would under Ross Lyon, and then they're able to get it out the back. I've seen this same shit for this last 8 years. It's ridiculous, guys, and it's predictable. We're better than this. We're better than them all over the ground, and yet we got dominated all over the ground.
Good question coming up here.
Mm-hmm.
Nat Fyfe, Coleman medalist. How'd he go?
I don't know who was freaking bringing that up, because that was never happening. Absolutely never happening.
We know who tipped Jack Gunston, and that was half a lemon James Sicily. But we still don't know who tips Natty Fyfe.
I don't know what we do with him. He did one good lead, that I can think of off the top of my head. He did a few pressure acts, but he just doesn't have the pace anymore, if he ever did. Him and Tabs pretty much were just extra people taking up space that just got in our way at times more than anything. Fucking dickhead! All right. Taberner is useless. Absolutely useless. We are not winning a premiership with him. He has to be the worst key forward I think I have ever seen in my entire life. He runs into the fats. Oh man, it's either that or he's jogging around. Oh man, let me breathe. He's just useless. He needs to go out. At times, I was just thinking, why is this fella playing over Sturt? Every time I saw him, it's like, why is Sturt or Amos not out there? Why is Sturt or Amos not out there? Fyfe needs to sit on the bench. Once again, this arrow is just about our forward line. Fyfe,
as a forward, done, yes.
Yeah, you're done. You have a rest on the waffle for a couple of weeks. Bring in some new blood. You're fucking done. We need Sturt. He can kick goals and tackle people. And we need Amos to get some games in him. Tabs, you're done, son. You're done. Get out of here.
Boom. Arrow.
Maso's arrow. That's a fucking pipe bomb.
He's absolutely destroyed Matty Taberner. Let's hope the crap man never let. I was going to say, the anger there, and you know what, the point as well to then say, no, he needs to be out for these two players. Well done, Mason. Well done.